Hello, fellow knitters. It's Janet with bddpatterns.com. Thank you so much for stopping by today. In this video, I'm going to show you just how easy it is to create a cozy scarf with pockets. All right, let's talk about what we need to make this beautiful scarf with pockets. First, I used Respun Thick and Quick, which is a number 6 yarn. There are 223 yards in each skein, and the color that I used is pumice stone, and you will need 2 of these. Next, very important, a measuring tape, a sharp pair of scissors. This is a scissor necklace. I love this thing, use it every day. A pair, I got my short needles. These were actually my mom's, and I just love that I'm using these for this project. But I got, they're number 15, and so they are 10 millimeter. You're going to need 4 jumbo safety pins. Now, you don't have to get these fancy ones. I just thought they were pretty, and so I got them today. A bent yarn needle. And this is my favorite one. I've had these for years, and I never, ever have lost one. So that's why I've got so many. A needle point protector. You can get away without a row counter, but for me, when I got to the point where this is a very long pattern, it's 78 inches. And so when I got to the point of where I needed to know how many more rows I had until I had to stop and get ready to add the ribbing, I wanted my row counter. So you can do this without or with, it doesn't matter, but you definitely cannot do it without a measuring tape. All right, and the bent yarn needle threader, an invaluable tool in my opinion, and a gauge swatch ruler. Okay, let's make this scarf with pockets. All right, let's knit a very, very basic scarf, but I'm going to give it a little twist. I'm going to include a way to make pockets. So what we're going to have to do if we do it that way is we're going to have to make it pretty long. So normally a scarf with pockets is, well, it's 60 inches, but because I want to do it the easiest way possible and integrate the pockets right into the scarf, we're going to make our scarf 78 inches. All right, go ahead and pull a tail of about 20 inches, and we are going to cast on 22 stitches. So when you get to 22, we'll meet back here and we'll go. All right, now we're going to just knit a very, very simple ribbing, and it's going to be just a 1x1 ribbing. So that means that our first stitch is a knit stitch, and our next stitch is a purl stitch. Remember, if you don't know these stitches, go to howtoknitvideos.com. I'm going to go slow here. I didn't do that with the first 2 stitches, but I will with the rest. But if you need to see it over and over again to get it, go to howtoknitvideos.com. In that, I tell you the skills that you need to complete this scarf, which is simply a knit stitch, a purl stitch, a cast on, and a bind off. All right, so let's continue knitting across. It's a knit stitch, and then it's a purl stitch. A knit stitch and a purl stitch, and we just continue doing that until we reach the last stitch. Okay, here is our last stitch, and that is simply going to be a purl stitch. All right, let's turn our work. And now I want you to grab that little rubber band that I talked about at the beginning, and we're going to just get some control on our sewing tail. Just go ahead, and what I do is I just take it and loop it like this, okay? Then I bring the loop up, then I loop it one more time, and I don't go tight on this because you're going to pull the yarn, but I just go twice, and if sometimes 3 times if that doesn't work, but 2 times will contain it, and there you have it. Now you won't get your tail mixed up with that with your skein. So let's do our next row, row 2. All right, now we're going to do our 1x1 ribbing, which is simply, we've laid down our first row, which was knit 1, purl 1, and now actually we're going to do the same thing. But if you get lost, excuse me, guys, sorry about that. You just need to knit the stitch as it presents itself. So in other words, here we go. We're going to knit the first stitch because that's how it presents itself. And you see that's a purl. So we're going to purl the next stitch and continue with our knit purl pattern until the last stitch. And then after that, go ahead and add 2 more rows of this knit purl or 1x1 ribbing. And we'll meet back when you've got 4 rows total of this beautiful ribbing. All right, now that we have our 4 rows of 1x1 ribbing, we are simply going to continue garter stitching, but I want to show you something. So go ahead, and garter stitching is just knitting across like this. Just knit, 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 knit. Until you get to stop before that last stitch, okay? All right, here we are at the last stitch. Now to keep a crisp edge, since there's no shaping in this whatsoever, it's just straight up, we are going to always knit at the end of our row. Our last stitch should always be a knit stitch, which is the same as what we'll be doing, but I want you to do it in the back loop. Okay, here's where you would normally go, like this. Don't do that one. Just go in the back loop and knit your stitch. All right, now continue along with this garter stitch of knitting every stitch just as normal, and then when you get to that last stitch, go ahead and knit, always knit that very last stitch in the back loop of the stitch. Now please do this until you reach, and I'm just going to show you, okay, here we go. Ours is about 1.5 inches. So when you reach, let's see, 76.5 inches, please stop. And if it's a little more than that, who cares? Just go to 77. Your life is going to be easier. I'm just going to call it, go to 77. And once you've reached 77 from this first row and you get to 77, go ahead and stop. And then we're going to do our mirror image, which is where we're going to do our 1x1 ribbing on that end. All right, you did it. 77 inches. If you're making this with me, would you do me a favor? Of course, would you hit the like button if you've gotten this far, because you're almost done. But would you just hit in the comments how long it took you to get to 77 inches? All right, thanks so much. Okay, now all we have to do is a mirrored image of what we did in the beginning. We are going to simply do 3 rows. If I can get my yarn out of here, it's all folded in. Okay, we're going to do 3 rows of 2x2 ribbing, and then we're going to bind off with a 2x2 bind off. So go ahead and do your 2 knit, 2 purl, 2 knit, 2 purl across all these stitches until you have 3 rows of 2x2 ribbing. Okay, now that you have your 3 rows of 2x2 ribbing, I'm going to show you how to bind off using a 2x2 ribbing. So what we're going to do first is, and we have 2 knits, so we're going to knit and then knit again and then pass over our stitch, which is a bind off, and we just did 1. So now we just purl and again pass over your stitch to bind it off, purl again, pass over, and we've just bound off 3 stitches. Okay, just keep going. I'm sorry, 4 stitches. Just knit 2 like you normally would, pass over and bind off. Oops, split it there. That's okay. And like I said, just do the stitch as it presents itself, bind off, and you will be almost done. When you get to the end, leave about a 15-inch tail so that that's what we're going to sew up our pocket with. Okay, deciding which side is the right side and the wrong side wasn't really important until now, so that's why I didn't have anyone distinguish it early on in the pattern. But what I want to do is talk about that now. So I am just going to use where I joined my yarn on that side as my wrong side. And with this particular pattern, I'm going to be sewing up the sides to make a pocket. And that's how we're going to do this. But in order to do it, we need to grab a measuring tape. So go ahead and do that. I'm going to show you how to measure it. With 2 closing stitch markers, I just want you to do one simple thing, and that is measure 10 inches from this to the fold. So we're not quite there. Okay. A little less. There we go. Well, I just want it to be the same on both. There we go. Okay, see, I've got a row here, and so I'm just looking at the stitches, and that's where I'm going to mark my 10 inches. So all I'm going to do is really just put in this stitch marker on each side. And the only reason I'm using these is because I told you to get some, but I also said safety pins. But unfortunately, I am working on another pattern, as I often do, and my safety pins have disappeared. So I'm going to, and just double check and make sure that when you move it around, you want to make sure that it's even, on both sides. Okay, and then just basically do the same thing over here. Just attach the top of the pocket where it's going to be, because what we're going to do is we are going to turn, oh, this is being a stinker. I hate plastic. I really hate it, but it's a necessary evil sometimes. All right, so what's going to happen is eventually we're going to turn this out, and that's going to be the right side of our pocket. So grab your yarn needle and your yarn needle threader, and we're going to stitch up this one side that we've got a tail all ready to go with. If I've never shown you before, this is how easy it is to thread a yarn needle with this little tool that I absolutely love. You just stick it through your needle, pull it through, and you are done. Look at that. It's awesome. Okay, so what we're doing here is just, I'm not going to do any type of fancy stitch at all. Sorry, guys. I know that some knitters are they're into their seaming and everything like that, but this is not the kind of pattern to do that with. If you want to, go ahead. You have a favorite seaming technique, please feel free to use that. I'm not going to do anything but just a simple whip stitch that will go into, by lining everything up. You see, this is like you can see how this lines up. See, this is what I don't know what the technical term for this is. I don't, sorry, but there's a bump and then there's like a space in between each bump. And all we're going to do here is we are going to go through and we are just going to do a simple whip stitch. But I do want you to carefully, you know, sew, line everything up well. You don't want it to be uneven. But at the same time, this is not complicated. Okay, here we go. Now we're really, I'm going to go in one more here right before that first bump. Okay. There you go. Let's see. This is what it's going to look like on the outside. All right. So go ahead and just go into the bump. Whoops. With your whip stitch. Okay. There you go. All right. Now go into the space in between those. It's just the space in between the row, really. It's another row, but the space in between the bump. And then the bump. And the space in between the bump. And so on and so forth. Okay, once you get down to the end, then just fasten off here, weave your tail into one of these sides, whichever side you like, and then join your yarn over here and make sure you join it at the top of the pocket because that's where you started this one and we don't want anything to look it's not going to look even if you don't do it that way. Okay, and then just sew a seam here. And then before you turn it right side out, go to your beginning side, measure up the 10 stitches for the pocket, sew the same on both ends, and then you can turn it right side out and you are done. All right, guys, thank you for going on this little short knitting journey with me, but I know that this will be a piece that you can use. This Thick and Quick yarn works up fast, but it really will keep you warm this winter.